So good morning, Jonas Means. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, Earl.
No, thanks for joining. A little inside baseball. You and I just completed a board meeting. We both serve on the executive committee for the Snow Valley Chamber of Commerce, and uh, I love your business model and what you're doing. So appreciate you taking the time to jump on for a quick call so we could chat.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. We do a lot together, and but I've never taken the time to do one of your interviews.
So, Jonas, one of the things that I'm always curious about is understanding why you got into the business that you got into. There's a story of origin, and I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I wish it was exciting, but I was a child of the '80s, so from 10 until 20, 1980 to 1990, I was that's some formative years, and Wall Street uh, was booming for the most part during that decade. And there was movies coming out, and I just thought stockbrokers were like the coolest thing. And we had all these movies, like the movie Wall Street, and just in general, um, you know, just the markets were fantastic. And so I always said I'm going to be a stockbroker someday. And in a sense, that's a word that is kind of dead now, right? There's not just stockbrokers, there are financial advice. There's lots of different, but in this, they're all stockbrokers. If you are purchasing equities and securities for people, then you are a stockbroker, whether you're called a financial advisor or whatever. So, but I didn't go into that right away. I was in the restaurant industry for probably 14 years before I got my master's degree and said, I'm not going to be in the restaurant industry after spending $40,000 on a master's degree. And so then I started off about 16 years ago.
So, Mariposa Wealth Solutions, or
Yes.
Mariposa Wealth Solutions, is the name of your firm. You provide wealth management services. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with the name of the firm and the types of clients that you serve and why you selected that niche.
Well, I grew up in Florida, and Spanish was something that I took several years. And well, Mariposa actually means butterfly, right,
Okay.
in Spanish. So one of the things about, I think it's a pretty word too. Like, it's just, it flows. But a butterfly goes through changes. It starts off with this as a caterpillar, and it becomes this beautiful thing. And the clients that I work with, most of them, I would say 90% of them, have gone through something's happened to them that's changed their lives, whether that's a divorce, death of a loved one, and it's something ugly's happened. And our goal is that you become you again. You become, this butterfly, and it's people going through transitions, and that's what a butterfly does. And you can get a pretty cool logo with a butterfly. So
There you go.
so that's
So,
that's that's the idea. When I was thinking of names for the company, that came like right there.
what I'm hearing you say is you tend to work with individuals who've gone through a stressful situation with financial implications.
Exactly. I would say that 95% of my clients are women. They're probably between 40 and, well, let's see, 40 and 90,
Okay.
right? There's a lot that can happen, but in those areas. But that's the most of my clients. I will work with any family or anybody, but that's the ones that I've just naturally have built these relationships with over the years.
So in terms of wealth solutions, I think of wealth management, I think of financial planning. What exactly do you do in helping your clients?
Yeah, so you're right. Wealth solutions is kind of vague, but I'm a financial planner at heart, right? I believe that you should have a plan, but you can do that online. I look at it more holistically. Like, it's not just about your money, it's about your life, and it's about living to your full potential, and coming, and the money actually helps you do that, you know. But we want to just make sure we take a behavioral approach to this. Why are you making these decisions with your money like this? And that often translates to other decisions, good or bad, that you're making as well. So we want to just make sure that it's a holistic approach, and not just looking at numbers, not just looking at science, because there's so much emotion involved that we want to take into account the emotional driven decisions that you make as well.
A lot of people have negative relationships with money. Money is viewed as something, interestingly enough, that is negative. And I see a lot of individuals that choose to overspend their money because on some level they don't feel they deserve it. I'm wondering, with respect to the mental aspect of the money game, if you will, if you have thoughts about how clients can best be served when they don't have a healthy relationship with money. And I'm focusing on the heart because you're right, when it comes to the mechanics of asset allocation and investment strategy and cash flow planning, a lot of resources are available online. I'm just trying to better understand. You obviously have a gift. You serve a niche, and I'm just wondering why clients choose you. And, what is it about you that attracts, using the butterfly metaphor, attracts clients to you?
Yeah, well, I think it's because I'm real. The idea behind my company wasn't to grow my company so I could sell it. It's for me to be able to help people and also make a living at the same time. But I have I don't want a bunch of clients. I want about 80 clients that I can serve in the way that they should be served. And if the reason why somebody would come work with me is because they're going to get that person that actually listens and takes the time to work on their problems, whether that's with finance or whatever. I've developed these fantastic relationships, and they're my clients are my friends. And if you want to compare me to, or any wealth management, how are they different? Well, a lot of times it's yeah, the clients are important, but at the bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, I want to do well, but I'm not here to grow my company so I can sell it and retire. I actually love what I do, and it's not really a job. It's life, and I enjoy getting up every morning and working with people and helping them solve their problems. And the great thing is that when we get to the point where we can maintain, we're on the right trajectory, then it's a great relationship, because I'm always checking in and they're calling me, and it's just a good, healthy relationship that is unlike any other place where I've worked before, where everybody is just an A, B, C, or D client because they have this much money. And I don't want that.
Yeah. And, to go back a few years, you and I, though we didn't overlap, we worked at the same wealth management firm. And you're right. Firms are built to be run like a business. And one of the things that I love about you, just to really dive into the word relationship. So you're not at home now. You're at your beach house on the coast, and you got a client coming over today to do what? What are you guys doing after you wrap up on the call?
I know we're in the Pacific Northwest, but I'm over in Westport, and we surf. So surfing is a thing.
You can social distance. You can be out there enjoying the ocean.
It's so much fun, and there's not many days where it gets up to 80 degrees out here in Westport on the coast, but it's going to get there or close to. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing is getting out and having fun with your clients. And I mean, I say clients, but they're friends too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So in addition to surfing, what types of things do you like to do when you're not working?
Well, I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and my wife is a school teacher in the Snoqualmie Valley School District, and we like to spend a lot of time together. And it could be anything from, coming out to the beach, hanging out on the beach, and just spending a lot of time with family, or watching, movies together. We just Mulan came out this week,
Yes, it
and we
did.
were so excited because I think during the quarantine they've watched everything that's been on TV. So, we watched Mulan together, got a pizza, normal family stuff. But I really value spending time with my family, and which is another reason why I like having my own company, because I can say, hey, let's go to the beach, and or I can take my daughter fishing, or whereas, I mean, anybody that has their own business, you get caught in the world of 9 to 5, or in my industry, a lot of times it's more like 7 to 9. You travel and all that, and I'm not willing to give up these, they're very precious years that I have with my daughter. She's 11, and I want to make sure that I'm there, and that we have a good time together.
Yeah, you have a beautiful life, a wife and daughter, two wonderful women and young women in your house. You also work with women clients predominantly.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you found a way to take your talent and serve people that need to be served. I have to ask a question though, as I'm thinking about what listeners or viewers might want to know about you. Any truth to the rumor that you are related to Drew Carey?
Well, this is national news here, but I am not related to Drew Carey. Although one time I was at the airport in Raleigh, and my wife and I this is before my daughter was born, were stopped, obviously through the TSA. They said I was Drew Carey and said, say something funny. And I'm like, I'm not Drew Carey. And he asked me, let me see. So I showed him that. And my wife simply said, if he was Drew Carey, we wouldn't be traveling coach,
I love
so.
it.
But yeah, no, and Drew Carey's a funny guy, so
No,
I
very
like him.
funny guy. I believe he's still a minority owner of the Seattle Sounders.
Yeah,
And I will say you do a remarkable job of playing Drew Carey at our Chamber of Commerce events.
yeah, I love doing the Plinko.
Yeah. Hey, Jonas, what do you think our viewers would like to know about you, the way that you serve? Any final thoughts that maybe you would like to talk about that we just haven't talked about over the course of the conversation?
That's good. One of my favorite writers is Zig Ziglar.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's like the father of all that stuff, right? But he said, and this is so true, man. And there are a couple of things, like prayers go up and blessings come down. I believe that, right? He didn't say that, but he may have, but I just know that to be true. That actually works. But he also said the more that you help other people get what they want, the more you're going to get what you want out of life. And I'll tell you what, man, you give, and the rewards come back to you. And, you don't give because you want those rewards to come back to you. That's not how it works. You give because you want to. And I found that my life is so awesome, because when I stopped thinking about myself and everything that I want in life, and giving more of myself, man, it changed. Everything changed.
No,
And
that's a formula and a mindset for living a meaningful life. I couldn't agree more. How does that manifest itself here in the Snoqualmie Valley where we live? I mean, other than your business, other than your family, other than the Chamber of Commerce, how are you involved?
well, that's I'm in Rotary, and this year I'm serving as the president of Rotary.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
also on the board of the YMCA in the Snoqualmie Valley. And then, obviously with the Chamber of Commerce secretary, and you as president. And, figuring out and helping people is so important. Either you want to do it or you don't. And I just love helping people become or get through tough times. So, we are in a really bad time right now in the Chamber of Commerce. We're coming up with every idea we can to help out small business. And I know that, Mother Teresa said, if you can't help everybody, just help one person. If we could help one person, if one business can keep open because of something that I do, that's a win-win, and you got to stay positive too. We're going to get through this, and you got to stay positive, and we're going to do everything we can. I mean, we're a volunteer organization at the Chamber, but man, I'm putting in blood and sweat, and you are too. And so are the other board members, trying to do whatever we can to help us get through this. And I get stoked on seeing people make it, they're going to make it, and they just got to believe it. And you got to work at it though, right? You can't just sit back.
No, well, words to live by. And you're right. We do have an amazing board team, and it's an honor to be part of the team, and in my case, to lead the team with your help. Powerful. Thank you for that, Jonas. Appreciate it. And you also served on the Economic Development Commission, I believe, at one time for the city of Snoqualmie. Is that right?
No, I was on the Planning Commission.
Planning Commission. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. That's a lot of stuff I had going on, and like, I also find that many people do. It's hard to say no, but you got to, it's what's essential to your values, and you got to, say no to a lot of things. And
that's a good life lesson right there. Learning what to say no to so that you can say yes to the things that matter.
Right. Exactly. Not that the Planning Commission didn't matter, but I find so much value in being on Rotary, where we really are all about giving back to, charities and or nonprofits and helping them. And then on the other hand, you have the Chamber, which is about making sure that small businesses in the Valley can be successful and prosper. And I mean, that's fantastic, especially if we're seeing why there's Chamber of Commerce right now. One of the things that's happened, is the PPE programs and all these government funding programs for these small businesses.
Right.
Well, that's all great, but there's a lot of small businesses where maybe English isn't their first language.
Mm-hmm. And
I've seen board members step up and help people with these applications and making sure that they can get a translator, or, who's going to do it for them? So many minorities have not gotten help with the funding because they just didn't understand it. And a lot of that was language. And so, there's a lot of value to sitting there and helping somebody that just wouldn't apply for it.
That's a great example of, in Rotary, they call it service above self. At the Chamber of Commerce, we think about it in terms of building or strengthening commerce through community. And, the big takeaway for me is when you do show up in service to others, you're right. It's karmic, call it whatever you want to call it. It comes around, and you can't help but create good in the world and have it not come back to you in some kind of good way. And that's a good philosophy to live your life by.
Yeah, I wish I would have learned that a lot earlier in life.
Yeah, same here.
Selfish in my 20s and 30s, and
yeah.
But man, if you're young and start helping out, start helping people, and you're going to see the returns. And I'm not just talking about money; I'm talking about everything.
Yeah, connection, friendship, relationship.
Yeah.
The ability to be helpful, to have a positive impact on lives of other people.
Yeah, and what a great time! What a great time to get started right now.
Yeah, 100%.
In the middle of a pandemic.
100%. Hey, Jonas, really appreciate you taking the time to chat this morning. I'm wondering if someone was watching and wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Yeah, and or Jonas at Mariposa WS, MARIPOSAWS.com. You can find me. You can email me, or, you know, you can go to my website, mariposaws.com, and there's contact forms. But yeah, you know, it's an honor to be able to serve with you on the chamber and the work that we're doing, and you know, with Rotary and the other things, and we're making progress and we're helping people, and so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fabulous. Thank you for serving with me, and thank you for being a guest today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Earl.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.